Let's go to page 191, number 32. So you got 4y squared minus 17y plus 15. Okay, so when doing the factoring, you just go through each of the steps. So get your checklist. Go to step 1, common factor. That's nothing to factor. Step 2, 3 term, check for the trinomial square. So this is good, but this is not good. This is not a square, so that's not it. So you go to the cube. This is not a cube, so you go to step 4, master product. Okay, so master product, you need to add to get the middle, and you need to multiply to get the front and the back, so it would be 60. Okay, so you start with, so to get negative, you have to get both negative. So negative 1 comma negative 60, negative 2, negative 30, negative 3, negative 20, negative 4, negative 15, negative 5, negative 12, and that's the one. Okay, so factoring is undoing the Fourier method, so you have to undo the first term. So let's go and start with the lowest and highest, okay, and see which one. So this will be the inside. So 4 times something not going to give you 5, so this has to be the inside. So it will be minus 3, right? Negative 3 times 4 give you negative 12. Okay, now, so this is the inside, and this would be the outside. So inside, outside, and this would be minus 5. Okay. And that's it. Okay, number 34. Okay, 25u squared minus 20u plus 4. Okay. Okay, so again, let's go through the checklist. Step 1, common factor. There's nothing in common to factor out. So you go to step 2, 3 terms, you check for the perfect square. So this is a square, this is a square, this is a square. So let's go and try that. So to get 25, you get 5, right? 5 squared will give you 25. Let's go and write this a little bit better. And to get that, you need to get u. Right? 5 squared give you 25. U squared give you u squared. And you need to get minus 2 because you have to match the middle. Okay, so negative 2 squared give you 4. Then so again, you're just guessing. So from this you get that, from this you get that, from this you get that. And from this you get this. And you want to check if it match this. So you multiply all this together. So negative match. 2 times 2 is 4, times 5 is 20. So match with that. And alphabet is u. So everything match. So that's your answer. So that's your step 2b. Okay? So make sure you don't jump into step 4 right away. Make sure you go through the step 1, 2, 3, 4 for every problem, so you don't get yourself in trouble. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, you got 4r squared plus 16rs minus 10s squared. Okay, so step 1, common factor. So all these are even, so you can factor out the 2. So you got 2r squared plus 8rs minus 5s squared. Okay, so that's your step 1. Then step 2, perfect square. So this is not a perfect square. Step 3, the cube. This is not a cube. So go to step 4, master product. So you have to add to get 8. You have to multiply to get negative 10. Okay. And so you go 1 comma negative 10, 2 comma negative 5. And so from here you can see that nothing is going to match the 8. Nothing is going to give you 8. Okay. So nothing is going to give you 8. That means this cannot factor. So that's it. So you're done. So only thing you can do is your step 1. Okay. So again, that's important. That's why you want to start with 1, 2, and 3 and just go down the list. That way you know that you're not missing anything, and that way you know that this is not factorable. So, okay, 38. You got 4x squared plus 3xy minus 15y squared. Okay, so step 1, common factor, 4, 3, 15 cannot. Step 2, perfect square. This is good, but this is not good. This is not a perfect square. Then you go to step 3, the cube. This is not a cube, so you go to step 4, master product. So you have to add to get the 3, and you have to multiply to get the negative 60, right? Because that's your master product, right? 4 times negative 15 give you negative 60. Okay, so you can use, so to get parts, so you go 1, negative 60, 2, negative 30, okay, 3, negative 20, 4, negative 15, 5, negative 6. So if you notice, after that you're going to just reverse, right? So none of this give you the 3. This will give you 59, this give you 28, this will give you 17, this will give you 11, this will give you 1. Okay? So none of it going to give you 3. Even if you reverse, okay, they just give you changing the sign. Okay? So it doesn't help. So again, if you go through the list, right? So none of this going to give you the 3. So therefore this is prime. Okay? It means there's nothing you can do about this one. Okay, number 40, you have 81 u v3 plus 3 u to the 4. Okay, so step 1, common factor, 3 and 81, you can factor out the 3. And you got u to the 4, so you can factor out the u. So this becomes 27 v3 plus u to the 3. And you can do the quick check. This times I give you that, this times I give you that, right? And this times this give you that. So do a quick check to make sure you factor correctly. Okay, then after that you go, so once you factor, you have to double check again. So you go to step 2, perfect square. Well, this is not a square, right? So you go to step 3, the cube. Yeah, so this is the cube. So before we do that, I'm going to make this into 3 cube. Okay, if you can do it without converting, that's fine. But you know, probably it's better to just go and do one extra step to convert into 3 cube. That way, it's easier to factor and less chance of making mistakes. Okay, so you got 3u, and you got 1 parentheses and 1 big one. So the cube would be, so the first factor would be just get rid of the cube. So it would be 3v plus u. Right? You just get rid of the cube. So this is a single power. Now you have to get a double power, right? Because 1 power times 2 power will give you 3 power, right? Okay. So you're going to square that, give you 9, square that, give you that, square that, give you u squared, right? In the middle, oh, this is always plus. In the middle, you take opposite of that to cancel the middle term when you do all the distribution. So it'd be minus 3uv, okay? And so that's number 40, okay? Okay, number 42. You got x to the 6 minus 64y to the 6. Okay, so you can, step 1, common factor, cannot. So you go to step 2, 2 terms, all these are even, so all these are, so this is a difference of square. So you get your 2 set of parentheses, and then break it down into conjugates. So you need to have x to the 3, x to the 3. And this one you need to get plus minus, right? Plus minus, you get that. 64 will give you 8 and 8. So 8 times 8 give you 64. And you need to have y to the 3, y to the 3. Okay? Then next step is, so you're done with the step 2, now you have to go to step 3. And these are cubes, right? All these are cubes. Okay, so let's go and make this into cubes. So 8 equal to 2 to the 3. Okay? And I'm going to put this way over here because I'm going to leave a space over here so I can line up. Okay? So this becomes this, right? Making the cube. So the easier to visualize, easier to factor. So from here, I need to get this. From this, I'm going to get my parentheses ready. Okay. So for this one, the first one, again, to factor the cube, you just get rid of the cube. So it'll be x plus 2y. Okay, then after that, you square this, you get that. 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 Okay? Just square each one of these. Because the reason you need to square it because this is 1 power times 2 power will give you 3 power. Okay? Now you have to cancel all the middle term, right? So to cancel middle term, you have to take opposite. So it'd be minus 2xy. So minus 2xy. Okay, now for this one, again, just get rid of the cube. So you get x minus 2y. Then after that, you square that, get that. Square that, you get that. Square that, you get that. Square, you get that. Run out of space. Okay, there we go. And you have to take opposite of that, so it would be plus 2xy. Okay, and that's it. So that's your factor of the 6th power. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next one. you have z to the 4 minus 10z squared plus 9. Okay, so step 1, common factor. Okay, cannot. Step 2, squares. Okay, so this is a square, this is a square. So let's go and try see if this is a perfect square. So you got z squared and you're going to be minus 3. Okay, and let's check the middle. So sign match. 2 times 3 is 6. Does not match the 10. So that's not it. Okay, so this is not step 2. So step 3, cube. This is not a cube. So go to step 4, match the product. Okay? So you have to add to get negative 10. You have to multiply to get 9. Okay, so to get negative, you have to use both negatives. So negative 1 comma negative 9. Right? Multiply to get that, you add to get that. So all match. So that's kind of nice. So you're going to get z squared, right? You have to match that. Okay. Then after that, you need to get minus 1, minus 9. Okay. Now, once you break into 2 smaller parts, you have to kind of start all over again. So you have to notice that this is a square minus square. Okay, so you're going to get your 2 sets of parentheses, and this one you're going to get 2 sets of parentheses. So this one you need to get z plus minus 1, 1, right? So again, break down each part, right? Z times z give you z squared, plus times minus give you minus, 1 times 1 give you 1. Now this one, you need to get z and a z. Z times z give you z squared, plus times minus give you minus, and 3 times 3 give you 9. Okay? Okay, number 46. Okay, so this one you have to look for the GCF. So you got x squared minus 16, and you have x squared plus 2x minus 8. Okay, so to find GCF and LCM, you have to factor each one of these. So this one, step 1 cannot. Step 2, okay, so this is step 2a, should be x plus 4, x minus 4. Okay, this one I can go through the step. So step 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the master product. So you have to add to get 2. You have to multiply to get negative 8. So 1 comma negative 8, 2 comma negative 4, 4 comma negative 2, and that's it. Okay. And since there's no since the coefficient is 1, you can just put this in here. So it'd be plus 4 minus 2. Okay, so now you can find the GCF. GCF is whatever they have in common. So this is a common factor. So it'd be x plus 4. Then LCM is you have to include all of them. So you need to have the x plus 4, x minus 4, and x minus 2. And that's it. Okay, number 48. Okay, you got y cubed minus 4y, and then you have y to the 4 minus 8y. Okay, so you can step 1, common factor, you can factor out the y. And step 2, this is a difference of square. So you can have y plus 2, y minus 2. Okay. This one, again, step 1, common factor. You can factor out the y. So you got y cubed minus 8. And step 2 cannot. So step 3, the cube. So let's go ahead and mix this into 2 to the 3 power, making the cube. Okay. And again, so when you factor the cube, you get rid of the cube. So that's a single power. And to get a double power, you just square that, right? So square this, you get this. Square that, you get that. Square 2, you get 4. And to cancel the middle, you have to plus 2y. Okay. So now you can do your GCF. GCF is what they have in common. So you got y in common, and you got y minus 2. Okay. Now LCM, you have to include all their factors. So start with the alphabet. Well, actually start with number, but there's no number. So do the alphabet, and then do the group. So it'll be y plus 2, y minus 2, and you need to also have that. So LCM is everything. You have to use all the factors. Okay, cover every factors. Okay, and that's it. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, you got x to the 3 plus y to the 3. Oh, this one had 3 things. Okay. Then you have x squared plus y squared. And you got x plus y. Okay, so let's go and factor this. So again, to factor the cube, you just get rid of the cube. So it'd be x plus y. Then after that, you go ahead and square this. And you square this. Square this, you get that. Square this, you get that. Square this, you get y squared. The opposite would be minus xy. Okay? This one you cannot factor with a real number. This one you cannot factor, so that's it. So let's go and get the GCF, would be whatever they have in common. So you have this, but there's none over here. Okay? So in this case, your greatest common factor would be 1. Okay? And the LCM, because they have nothing in common. Okay? So LCM, you have to include everything. So you need to have x plus y. You're going to have x squared plus y squared. So this one, and then this one. Okay? And so, okay, let's make this a little bit nicer.